Good morning. We are group 35 and today we are going to be going through our group discovery box. Our theme for this discovery box is wind, air and movement, and our activity is called Fun with Wind. So firstly we are going to go through our materials that we need. So you need one feather, one marble, one dice, one washing pig, one small stone, one highlighter, one small ruler, one eraser, one pipe cleaner, a teaspoon and a paper plate. So once you have gathered all these objects, you're going to place them on a flat surface, and the aim of this activity is to explore the impact of wind on each object with the use of a paper plate when fanning it. So firstly, once you have gathered all the materials, you're going to test one by one of how far you can move the object when fanning the object, and you can see if it moves or if it doesn't. So once you have seen if it does move or if it doesn't, you must place them in the designated areas. And then you must also take note of this, and once you have taken notes and you can see which objects move and which don't, you can find other objects in the classroom which can be easily found to test other objects and to test their ability with wind. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Hess and this is my individual discovery box. Our theme we got is wind and air, and my activity is called Can I Move It? So the learner will grab the shoebox, and once they open it, they'll see a piece of paper with the title of my activity, Can I Move It?, the learning objective of my activity, different materials, instructions, and then what to think about afterwards. So the learning objective of my activity is for the learners to see how different items move differently and different distances with the wind, and also how different strengths of wind will move different items. So firstly, what the learners are going to do according to the instructions is take all the items out of the box. So we have a mask, a rubber, a rock, a canteen lid, a washing pig, and then 2 seeds. Then the instructions say that the learner must take the straw and place their mouth on the one side of the straw and blow and feel the air coming out on their hand. By doing this, the learners are able to feel what's actually coming out the straw and what's going to be moving the items. Then the instructions say that they must use one item and blow like they did on their hand, each item at once. So first I'm going to do the mask. And then the learners will see how that mask moved with the different amounts of air they blow. For example, if I blow softly, the mask doesn't move, where if I blow it a lot harder, the mask does. So that's how the learners are seeing the different strengths of wind. Then I'll be blowing the lid. And I'll see that the mask and the lid are like the same to blow, the same amount of strength of wind or air. Then I can blow the rubber. And with this item, the learners will learn how no matter how much wind they blow, the rubber's still only moving a little bit. Then if I take the rock, it's almost the same result as the rubber, except the rock didn't move at all, no matter how hard I blew into the straw. Then with the seeds, I see how easily the seeds blew if I gave the same amount of, if I blew the same amount, like the same strength as I did with the rubber. And then if I blow softly, they still move. Then with the washing pig, I see that's also quite difficult to blow. So then after the learners have done the activity, there's a reflection on the sheet that says, what do you think? This is a few questions that the learners can think about and ask themselves in order to achieve the learning objective of the activity. So for example, some of the questions are, were all the items easy to blow? Do all the items move the same distance? Do they move in the same direction? And do you have to try blow more air or blow harder to get some items to move rather than the other items? Thank you.
My name is Sarah Mackenzie and this is my individual discovery box. So this discovery box's theme is wind, air and movement, and the name of my activity is Funky Feathers. So in this discovery box there is 4 different coloured feathers as well as 4 coloured cardboard pieces, and there's a straw as well as press-stick tubes to stick down the pieces of paper. So the aim of this activity is for the learners to match the same coloured feathers to the same coloured cardboard by using a straw to move them across the flat surface. The learners will also practice directing and controlling wind with the straw. So also you can see here the instructions at the bottom for the learners to use. So here you'll find all the coloured pieces of paper, and then I've also just placed a bit of press stick that you can put on the back of them. And then you'll also find the feathers as well as the straw. So I'm going to place the different coloured cards just on the flat surface. They can be placed in any order or distance. It's just for the learners to practice controlling the wind. So then you're going to move all your feathers to the end of the table. You can space them out just so then they don't all blow in one direction. So then you can see that the learners are going to practice matching the purple to the purple card, the red to the red. So I'll show you now. Cards just on the flat surface. They can be placed in any order or distance. It's just for the learners to practice controlling the wind. So then you're going to move all your feathers to the end of the table. You can space them out just so then they don't all blow in one direction. So then you can see that the learners are going to practice matching the purple to the purple card, the red to the red. So I'll show you now. So obviously you could see that was more done with ease. So as you find that the learners find it more easy, they can change the distance of their paper, or also maybe making them more bunched to make it a bit more difficult. Thank you so much.
The resource that will be used in this activity today is a homemade parachute. In order to make the parachute, I used 2 polystyrene cups, some string, a punch, scissors, and a plastic bag that has been cut into 4. The purpose of this activity is to see how heavy or light objects float to the ground with the added element of wind affecting it. So today we are going to see which parachute floats down faster using different objects. So first we will use glue as one object, and a matchbox as another. So in order to do this, we just hold the parachute up high and let it float. As you can see there, the glue was heavier, so the glue landed faster than the matchsticks. The next objects we will try is a washing peg and an eraser. As you can see, the washing peg was a bit lighter, so it landed second, and the eraser was heavier.
Hi, my name is Megan Muscat, and our group theme for the Discovery Box is wind. My individual Discovery Box is called Up, Up and Away, and I will be making a kite. For Up, Up and Away, you will need plastic, either cut up into a diamond shape, like this, which will eventually look like this, 2 skewers, and some rope. However, you can also just use a normal plastic bag altogether that's open like this. I made both, and I found that this one with the plastic bag was more effective with the wind, although this one does work as well, and it can be a bit easier for a child to make. But I will be making it with this plastic. So first, you take the 2 skewers and you put the first skewer into the plastic where you want it to be, and then you use some sticky tape and you sticky tape it so that it is closed, and then you sticky tape it at the bottom. And then all that's left is to do the sides. And then you just take the rope and you simply tie it. Tie the two skewers together. And it is that simple. You now have a kite. You can do the same thing with this kite, where you just take a piece of plastic and then two skewers, and you also just sticky tape it to each side, and then you tie the rope to it, and it will also work quite effectively.